Hi there. Day 3 of Try Praying. It's been a really interesting day. We turned up at the food bank this morning to find out that someone had broken in. So we've had the locks changed, but you know what? We're keeping going. So here's some wise words for the day. They're from Jesus, and it was his manifesto. And this is what he said. The Spirit of the Lord is on me, because he's anointed me to preach good news to the poor. He sent me to proclaim freedom for the prisoners and recovery of sight to the blind, to release the oppressed, and to proclaim the year of God's favour. Often we think there's got to be something better. We live in a rich country, but we're not happy. We've accumulated loads of debt. Sexual freedom has brought disintegration of family life. And to be honest, we're eating and drinking ourselves into an early grave. With us on lockdown, we're realising what are the important things in life that really matter. We're finding out that we've missed so much in life. 20 centuries ago, Jesus' first words were an invitation to live differently, an invitation to change our world by our own actions, to let a new world order break in. He basically said that he was giving us the ability to bring heaven down to the earth. Just imagine it, our streets where we live being a bit more like heaven. There are approximately 2.3 billion people who would say that they're Christians, that they're followers of Jesus. It's the biggest faith group in the world, and it's growing faster than any other. It's not about religion. It's about being a movement for change. Jesus gave his manifesto to bring good news to the poor. Heaven is poised to do just that. But what it means is we have to make a difference. Heaven is knocking at your door, not to condemn you, but to bring you a new quality of life. So let's just pray for a moment. God, I recognise the world has gone wrong in many ways. I want to be part of something better. I'm sorry for my own part in making things go wrong. Make me someone who is connected to heaven. Amen. If you've prayed that prayer and you really meant it, you've just joined that group of 2.3 billion people who've said they're going to be followers of Jesus. Something for you to think about over the coming days. We got broken into. We've had to have new keys cut. Every time you use a key, why don't you pray? God, will you unlock my life to your influence? Keep praying for whatever big things are on your heart, asking God to unlock that difficult situation and to provide a solution from heaven. Think about this. 1989 was the year the Berlin Wall came down. Berlin was released from communist rule. Historians will cite many reasons why that wall came down, many sociological. But I want to tell you this, for 40 years the East German church have been praying that that wall would come down. They cared for the poor, and they met and they prayed and they worshipped together. Since 1982, a Christian pastor had met with a few people in his church to pray. 7 years later, 4 churches were holding weekly prayer meetings and the numbers were growing. After the meeting, candlelit prayer marches took place throughout the city. The communist authorities wanted to stamp it out. The secret police issued death threats. The crowds kept coming. Eventually as many as 50,000. On the 9th of October 1989, police and army units moved into Leipzig. People feared a massacre and hospital emergency rooms were cleared. Honecker, the East German leader, gave permission to use force, but the prayer meeting and the march went ahead. 70,000 people marched. The following Monday 120,000 and a week later 500,000 were on the streets. By November the 1st, 1 million people marched in East Berlin. Then something amazing happened. People started crossing into West Berlin and the police stood by without a shot being fired, the Berlin Wall and all it symbolised are just crumbled. Whatever walls you've got in your life, take them to God and pray, and someday those walls will crumble. Good night, God bless.